So tonight I was talking earlier with a very good friend of mine, Dave Robards. He also happens to work over at Cardone Enterprises. He's one of our lead sales guys. Dave Robards has been a friend of mine for several years now. We've trained together, we've shot guns together, and I consider him a friend. And so I was talking with him earlier, and we were just really discussing about the value and the importance of friendship. And he's a huge 10X Ladies fan, not just because he's a guy and he loves 10X Ladies, although that's true too. But he's always trying to help me build my empire stuff. He's always there putting in extra time, helping me and helping all the 10X ladies with questions and needs, and in the room and in the masterminds and whatnot. So he's a true supporter. I think he's on now, and I wanted to get him to talk about, I think he's got some 3 little tips about friends and et cetera, et cetera. So I'd love to bring him on and talk about that. And then I'll just come in and out conversation.
Appreciate you guys, being here tonight. Elena, thank you so much for allowing me to share. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful to be here. And Elena was right. We were talking earlier about friends and how we became friends and what does it really take to be a friend. And I was talking to her, and we came up with the 3 tips. Are you ready? Because Uncle G, he loves the tips. 3 things to do, action plan. So if you're taking notes because you showed up here because you want to, get better, take notes. We're going to give you the 3 tips. The 3 tips to having the right friends. The 3 tips to having the right friends. So when you're thinking about having the right friends, you're thinking about what is the, what do you want to be thinking about? You want to have the right people inside your environment. Like right here, you're in 10X Ladies, you're in the right call tonight. You are in the right environment. You're with the right people. Okay. You also want to become better. You want to have the right friends so that you can become better and you can go to the next level. You also need to take responsibility for yourself and for your environment if you want to have the right friends. So tip number one, to be the best friend, you have to be the best friend to yourself first.
Elena here, real quick. Remember to subscribe to the video so you can see more of my content when it gets posted. Let's get back to the video.
But getting back to the tips, you have to be the best friend to yourself first. So what does that mean? What would a best friend look like? Best friend's definitely going to tell you the truth. Best friend's going to be honest with you. So you got to be honest with yourself. And one of the biggest dishonesties that you have with yourself is, I don't have time. Anytime you start hearing, I don't have time, you need to hold yourself accountable just like you would your friend. You wouldn't let your friend get away with that. You need to hold yourself accountable. You need to be honest with yourself, a best friend to yourself. Okay, yes, you do have time for the right things. Are you in the right room? Are you eating the right food? Are you sitting watching Netflix, or are you in the gym? Are you pushing your friends? Are you pushing yourself? When Elena gives you homework, are you like, wow, that was a great call? Or did you show up with your homework complete, ready to share the successes, right? So are you being a best friend to yourself? What would that mean to you? Just raise your hand if you're like, I'm not always the best friend to myself. I kind of let myself slip on some stuff and don't hold myself accountable. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that.
And
I do the same thing.
Also, Dave, tap into forgiveness, because if these ladies are anything like me, they're very hard on themselves. And sometimes that can be good to push you to the next level. And sometimes it's just outright abusive.
I do the same thing. It's funny that you say that, because I'm harder on myself than anybody. I don't even like to admit my successes, and that's not the right thing to do. I need to focus on the wins. At the end of the day, here at 10X headquarters, at the beginning of every day, we never talk about the thing that went wrong the last day. The whole entire office gets together. We focus on what were the wins. We want to start the day with the wins, want to end the day with the wins. And you should be doing that with yourself. Okay, maybe not everything went right, but what did go right? And, celebrate the success and be your own best friend first. Because if you're not a best friend for yourself, you're not going to be a best friend for somebody else. Tip number two. Why do you want a friend? You need to define what is the purpose of you having a friend and multiple friends, the network of friends. Why do you want it? What are they there for? How do you improve their life? How are they improving your life? Is it somebody because it's Friday night and you're alone and you got to fight with the boyfriend or you don't have one and it's like, hey, well, we just need to go out. It's ladies' night. We need to get crazy. Is that the friends you want? Or is it the friends, hey, come over because we're going to put the vision board together and we're going to read a book together and and are we moving forward or are we moving backward? Because there's no staying the same, ladies and gentlemen. I see the gentlemen on here, 10X ladies. There's no staying the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse.
Hey everybody, Elena Cardone here. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up.
You will never be the same. You will never be the same age. You will never have the same kind of relationship. Everything's always going to change, but you're going to decide with who you're being to yourself and the people you allow closest to you, your network, your friends. Are you moving forward or are you moving backwards? And this again goes back to I'm being honest, right? What's the exchange? Elena and I were talking about this. What's the exchange? When you bring a friend into your life or you're being a friend to someone, are they the vampire? Or do you feel like you're just constantly helping and helping and helping, but they're not giving anything back and you're just there to fix their problems? Or are you the vampire and you're not giving anything back to them? There should definitely be an even exchange in the friendship. Which brings me to number three, the tip number three. And this is something that I learned from Grant on a different situation, but we're going to apply it to this. And everybody take this down. You're going to write your list of friends. You're going to write your list of friends. So at least 10, your 10 closest friends. And I see some of you guys brought your friends to the call. Yeah, the UK is in the house with their group of friends. I hope you guys are still friends after we do this. So, okay, we'll see what happens. So you're going to write your list of friends, and then you're going to make 3 columns on the paper, okay? The first column you're going to list fits my purpose. The second column you're going to list kind of fits my purpose. And on the third column, the list is does not fit my purpose. And I want you to take your list of friends and put them in their place. You get to put your friends in their place. I'm giving you full permission. Put them in their place. So your list of friends, they fit your purpose. As in, also, you're reaching up. You're reaching up for different relationships. You don't want to stay where you're at. So somebody that has a spouse and has an amazing relationship with their spouse, and you want an amazing relationship with your spouse, who are you reaching up to be? Like our young friend, Alexis. I love Grant and Elena's relationship. That's who I strive to be like. She's reaching up beyond where she's at. So when it comes to relationship, your friend that you're like, you're focused on their relationship, would it make you go backwards or would it make you go forwards? Your friends, their finances. Are you reaching up financially for new friends? Or are you like, I'm the one that always buys the drinks because I make the most money? So do they fit your purpose of where you want to be? Talking about the homework from last week. Remember, this is just going to continue to get better. So the homework from last week was create your ideal situation. Was that right, Elena? Along those lines? Yeah. Okay, good. So, yeah. Okay, so your friends have to match the ideal situation. When you want to be in the right room, let's say you pay to be in a room. You pay to be with the right group, and everybody pays to be in that room. The friends that you have in that ideal situation, let's say it's a party and they all paid, it's a gala and it's a charity event and they all paid to be in the right room. Are any of your friends you're like, maybe let's catch the next one because I don't think you'd be right for this. They would go into kind of fits your purpose or no, they don't fit your purpose. Okay. Now, I'm not going to wait till next week to give you the hook here, because after you're done, you're going to list all your friends, the ones that fit in your purpose, the ones that kind of, and the ones that don't.
Before we go on, Dave, I want to interject real quick because I really want people to understand and really go over what the purpose is of a friend. Is it what you have, what you perceive as a friend to be? Or how do you perceive of a relationship? Like it's supposed to be a certain way. Like I feel like maybe society puts certain perceptions onto people of what they think a relationship is supposed to be. Like for instance, before I got with Grant, or even the first 4 years I was with Grant, I thought, that relationship was obviously supposed to be a monogamous relationship, but that was really nothing beyond that other than that we're in love and we're going to be together forever. And I thought, okay, and what does that look like? That looks like we're supposed to look like we're in love. And then anytime in my mind that it didn't kind of fit that picture, I thought, oh my God, we're in trouble. Like what's happening? Or life is, and then it wasn't until I realized, wow, okay, actually the purpose of a marriage for me is so much more than just originally what I thought when I actually got married, which is that, wow, two people can actually come together and help each other achieve their goals in order to reach a heightened level of success that we couldn't have done on our own. But having the benefit of somebody else there with you to hold you accountable, to push you, to believe into you, to be the wind under your wings when you feel like you can't go any further. And that became like, okay, well, when you have that kind of an ideal picture, all of a sudden, now I was fighting against, okay, well, now that I have this going, but now my relationship looks different because now we're trying to push each other into heightened levels of success. Now I want him and he wants to be known by 7 billion people on the planet, winning from our products. Now I can no longer have the same picture of that perception of what I thought my relationship was supposed to be prior to that, which is we're always supposed to look like we're in love and be happy and fairy tale. Because now, cut to, now we're working together and we're trying to help each other reach their goals. However, now I'm on a date with my husband who's on his phone doing social media because he's trying to get known to 7 billion people, or he's got to send an ad out or fix it while we're out on a date. See, now I'm conflicted. I have to now understand my new purpose. Like, what is my purpose now? Is my purpose to have the picture of what I think a marriage or a friendship is supposed to look like? Or do I rework it so now that we can actually achieve our purposes together? And prior to knowing what a real friendship was, I had friends. I had a lot of friends in my life that were there because I thought, oh, well, friends are there to just like help me waste the time or have dinner like like Dave was talking about, and have a glass of wine and release the tension or the pressure of the life or whatever. And so I kind of just had friends because I thought, well, everyone just needs to kind of have friends. That's what we do. But once I really focused on and really started to like get a clear picture of where I wanted my life to look like and started narrowing in, now I suddenly realized, well, I honestly don't have time for all these friends because I no longer have an interest of just wasting time. Like now you who like I don't really know because you're not like the quote unquote friend who you're going to call me when, when you get in an argument with your boyfriend or you want to just go down to the local bar and have a drink. I'm not that friend, but I'm the friend that's here with you every Wednesday night. So in a sense, the people that show up over and over and over, that you have my back, that you're here, that you support me, you're going out, you're making a difference for the better in your lives, you're closer to me. And I have more friends like you than maybe some of the friends in my own life, because I just don't really like have a whole lot of friends right now. And that's okay. I can go through changes, but the friends that I have a very specific purpose for me, and vice versa. I want to be a stable person and a dependable person and a predictable person that is who I say, that's got the core values, that, you know, has trust. And that's what I want from somebody else. I want somebody else to be the sounding board, or to help me with creative ideas, or to help me be stronger or tougher, or, you know, all the reasons that I have, the friends that I have in my life, they give to me what I can't do above myself. So I really wanted to reiterate that point that you went over, Dave, because sometimes, you know, it can get glossed over of like, you know, just something as like, well, what's wrong with having friends? You can have a lot of friends. And I'm not trying to tell you not to have friends and all of that. I'm just trying to have you look at who's in your life on a deeper level and start operating with how you can be a better friend for the friends that are going to remain there, how you can be more supportive, because, you know, it isn't just about receiving, it's about what you give. And sometimes I become bigger and greater because of what I was able to give to somebody else. So I just want to rework the thinking. Maybe you haven't thought about that, about like, maybe you just kind of took it for granted how I did in the past. And I just want to tweak it just a little bit with a little more awareness. Okay, Dave.
All right. So on your note, you're 100% correct. You're right. So I went and looked up friend, because what is Grant? Hey, look it up. Look up the word. Do you even know what the definition is? So the definition that we're looking for tonight, and the definition that Elena is talking about, is this: a person who acts as a supporter of a cause, an organization, or country by giving financial or other help. A person who acts as a supporter of a cause, organization, or country by giving financial or other help.
Hey everybody, if you have a comment about this topic, make sure to leave it below the video. I want to hear your thoughts.
So, like, I'll give you, for instance, one of my closest friends, his name's Steve. You know him, he's friends with you, Steve Spray, okay? Today, Steve Spray and I, we're having a conversation, but it's more of a communication with Steve and I. It's always like, we never just talk, it's what's next. What are we accomplishing while we communicate with each other? And I was frustrated at a certain point. I was frustrated, and I was like, why are you attacking me, bro? I actually said, why aren't you on my side? You're supposed to be my friend. And he said, I'm on your side, but you're not seeing something clearly right now. I need you. And he worked me through it by asking me the right questions. He was completely supportive, because the cause is, hey, let's help as many people as we can, get Grant's name known, and become financially free and wealthy while we're doing it. And I was butting up against a barrier. I was having the problem. And anytime you're frustrated, you're probably the one having the problem. So I was frustrated, and the friends that I allow around me are going to support me. And that even means, Dave, I don't agree with what you're doing, and here's why. And able to walk me through it. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh man. And he just went up an altitude as my friend, because he wasn't going to give up on me. He was also going to make sure I did the right thing. And he was also going to push me to my own next level, because he knows I've done that for him, and I'm going to continue to do that for him. So thanks, Elena, for making sure that that's what we're talking about when we have friends. So the reason we wanted to go so clear on somebody who supports your cause, your organization, right, financially or otherwise, is because once you finish, I always like this part because it's the hardest, because it's the easiest, but it's the hardest. Once you finish writing everybody down and you put them in the column, they fit your purpose. That means not only they support your cause and your organization, you support their cause and their organization, or kind of they support your cause and your organization, you kind of support their cause and organization, or no, not at all, I don't support them and they don't support me. So here's what we're going to do. And Cecil already wrote down, I've got no friends left. Okay. Yeah, you do. You got 232 of them right here on this phone call. So
Wow.
you got like, hey, be careful where you put your interest. Jessica's like, yo, I'm a friend. Elena's your friend. I'm your friend. We're all here doing the same thing. So, pay attention to who's really out there. What you're really saying is all the people you were hanging out with don't support you. You don't support them. So if they, and here's where the separation comes. If they do not support you, they are not your friend, and you don't support them, they're holding you back. They're keeping your stats down. So why are you hanging out with them? And if they kind of support, they're not supporting you. It's either they're supporting you or they're not supporting you. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. There's no kind of pregnant, right? You're supported or you're not supported, okay? And then if they fit the purpose, fantastic. Now, how many people did you put down on this call that maybe you didn't consider a friend, but they do support you? They do support your cause. They do support your organization. And maybe you didn't realize it. Or maybe you're like, hey, I don't have anybody left. I don't have any friends left. Or how do I get into the right room? How do I reach up? Where do I find these people? Where can I network, and where can I find the people that support my organization, support my cause, support what I'm doing, and I can help them financially, and they can help me financially.
I want to welcome you to the very first inaugural Build an Empire Mastermind with Elena Cardone.
We have 50 girls inside the mastermind waiting to throw down. It's going to be 2 days of sheer awesomeness.
Walking away from day one, I feel like I have more tools for my toolbox. I can be a better leader, and I know how to look for red flags when they pop up.
The most dangerous kind of enemy is the enemy that doesn't know that they're your enemy directly, but they actually are your enemy directly.
Sometimes the enemy always attacks the strongest part of yourself, so you always have to be aware of that.
You have things that you can do to turn your life around immediately.
Some of the best things that I have taken from this mastermind is definitely the ability to get my thoughts from where I had them in my brain, in my head, and actually make them physical, tangible, a plan of attack.
It's literally a blueprint to 10xing your life and to building an empire.
7 years ago, I learned the biggest lesson of my life, and it's when I actually became a friend to myself.
Hey, Elena Cardone here. I wanted to say a big thank you for watching today's content. If my content encouraged you or helped you in any way, I would love it if you would hit the like and share it with your friends so that we can all build our empires together.